Be me 31F in an expensive waterfront city where a one-bedroom costs your soul work in HR at a mid-level software plus shipping company, master's degree in industrial organizational psych, because obviously make around $128,000, which sounds impressive until rent, taxes, and ego. Enter the chat, always telling myself I'm underpaid for my impact. Big on glass ceiling speeches and corporate girl boss energy. Honestly viewed myself as a premium asset on the dating market. 5'7" gym, 4 times a week, mostly cardio machines, and taking mirror pics after skin routine like a military operation. My standards are high because I am the table. My core friend group is 3 other ladder climbers. Katie in brand strategy, Monica in comms, Jules in talent ops. Every Friday we meet for wine, and then more wine. Sit there with expensive natural wine and perform feminist war crimes on men who aren't even present full ritual. We all swore the only reason we were single was because guys were scared of successful women. Super convenient theory, great thing to believe at 11:30 p.m. When you get home alone, also genuinely believed modern dating was just men hunting for either a sugar mommy or a stay-at-home trad girl, kept saying I'd never become either one. I wanted a partner, not some fixer-upper rewind. 5 years, I'm 26. Dating apps look like a landfill, midnight you awake, messages, shirtless bathroom, pics men with passport photos, pretending Bali changed them, match with Ethan, 27M, works IT, help desk profile is aggressively average, 1 hiking pic, 1 pic with a golden retriever, 1 blurry group shot, where I had to guess which one, he was swipe right. Anyway, mostly because I was bored and my attention metrics felt low. That week he messages first, hey, saw you like sushi. Any places you'd recommend? Not amazing, not cringe functional. I can work with functional, agree to coffee because I do not do dinner on first dates, not wasting a full face of makeup. And 2 hours? If he's a flop, he walks in probably a 6 on a good day. Hoodie jeans that fit fine, but looked like he bought them because the store was open. Hair clean, 0. Styling effort, smiles like, he's a little nervous. I clock him immediately safe. Non-threatening, easy to shape. We sit down and talk. By talk, I mean, I monologue for like 45 minutes, go off about subtle sexism at my office, how Greg in finance explains my own reports back to me, like he's translating ancient text. Ethan just listens, nods, asks actual follow-up questions, doesn't jump in with some story about himself. Every 8 seconds felt weirdly refreshing. Also, because kind of passive check comes, I grab it and say, let's split, don't need a man paying for my coffee. Ethan, I have a career. He looks a little surprised, then just shrugs. Okay. Sure, thanks. No weird ego reaction, no fake alpha performance. Guess that's a green flag. We keep seeing each other. He's easy to be around, doesn't push back on me, doesn't make me feel challenged, definitely doesn't intimidate me. He's less accomplished than me. And I know it, he's making like $62,000 fixing laptops and resetting passwords. I'm at about $93,000. Then I liked feeling ahead, fed my ego in a really comfy way. Katie meets him once and gives me her expert analysis. He's a solid starter husband, stable. Probably won't cheat because who is he even cheating with? Use him to stabilize your life while you build your empire. I absorbed that immediately like it was scripture, 6 months later. Officially exclusive guy treats me like royalty cooks. When I come home drained from managing adult toddlers at work. Rubs my feet while I complain about quarterly performance targets, fixes my laptop, fixes my phone, fixes the internet when it starts acting up, never keeps score, never asks for anything back. And weirdly, I start getting annoyed at him for that. Just a little at first. Why doesn't he want more? Why is he so okay with being average? Why is he comfortable in this basic little life? Naturally, I decide I should improve him. Tell him he should apply for the team. Lead opening. He says he's good. Where he is, less stress, more time to code. Coding? You mean your gamer stuff? He says no, it's back-end systems. Says he's building something on the side, a personal project. I basically roll my eyes out of my head. Everyone in this city has a personal project, usually a podcast. No one listens to or a script. Nobody finishes his, was just nerd code nonsense to me. So I tuned it out 2 years. Go by my lease is ending. We decide to move in together, time for the spreadsheet. I open my laptop like I'm negotiating a merger. Tell him since I earn way more, we should do equitable, not equal. I'll cover 60% of the rent. He covers 40%. But lease should be mostly in my name for credit optics. He agrees instantly. No argument, no pride thing. Whatever you think makes sense, Amanda. We move into a nice 2-bedroom. I claim the primary closet he gets. The tiny hall closet by the front door. He sets up his computer station in the corner of the living room. 3 monitors, cables everywhere, looked like a small power plant. I make him buy one of those folding divider screens to hide it. Told him it was wrecking the aesthetic. He buys it. No, fight life settles into a pattern. I stay late at work, come home, tense, open wine. He works 9 to 5, comes home. First, cooks, cleans, then sits there coding until like 2 a.m. Sometimes I ask what he's even making. He says it's a decentralized verification system for freight tracking. My brain shuts off halfway through the sentence, sounds boring. I ask if it makes money. Yet he says not, yet says he's still building it. I hit him with, so it's just code then? He tries to explain more. I cut it off and tell him not to stay up too late. Says the late nights are making him look tired, and it's aging him. Year 3 together. My birthday dinner at a nice place downtown. He's acting weird all night. Sweaty keeps touching his pocket. Then he drops to one knee, pulls out a ring, not huge, simple solitaire, maybe around 0.9, carats. Not the giant rock Monica got from her fiancé, but acceptable whole restaurant starts clapping because people love public proposals. For some reason, I say yes, mostly because I'm about to hit 30 and the panic is getting loud. Also because I knew the post would do. Numbers, throw the ring pic on Instagram. Said yes to my best friend, get like 3,700 likes, chemical reward achieved next day at work. I'm showing everyone the ring. Katie and Monica drag me into the break room, close the door like we're discussing a hostile takeover. Katie goes, okay, the ring is cute, but now we talk strategy. Monica goes, prenup. Immediately, I start laughing like, seriously? He makes $62,000, drives a 2013 Civic with a cracked phone mount. What exactly am I protecting here? Monica leans in like she's about to deliver classified intel. You're protecting future you, Amanda Katie says it, like she's reading from a legal drama script. You're on the director path. You've got the 401k. You've got the possible inheritance from your grandma. If this blows up in 10 years and you're making $220,000 while he's still rebooting routers, you could end up paying him support. He could come after retirement money. He could try to claim part of your place. I get that cold stomach drop feeling. Immediately I've read those stories online. High-earning women getting bled dry by lazy husbands after divorce. Absolute nightmare fuel. And in my head, this somehow becomes a feminist issue. I'm a feminist. Feminism means financial independence. Feminism means not letting a man cash in on my labor. Decide, right there in that break room, prenup, non-negotiable, go home that night. Ethan's at his computer in the living room, corner, headphones on, typing like he's defusing a bomb. I tap his shoulder. We need to talk. He pulls one ear cup off and smiles at me. Hey, dinner's in the oven, made baked zaidi. Thanks. Listen, I've been thinking about the wedding logistics, yeah? I want a prenup. His smile just drops. He blinks a couple times. A prenup? Why? We're not exactly rich. I go full HR mode. Voice, calm, measured slightly, patronizing without sounding like it. It's not about being rich today. It's about being smart. I've worked really hard for my career. Half of marriages fail. Not having legal protection is irresponsible. He looks hurt. Says it sounds like I'm planning for us to crash. I'm planning for both of us to be secure as individuals. I keep going, tell him I want finances clearly separated. What I make is mine. What he makes is his. We can put money into a joint account for bills, but savings, investments, retirement accounts stay separate. He looks down at his hands, quiet for a second, then asks, is this because I make less than you? And I hit him with the line that always works. It's because I need to feel safe. Ethan, if you love me, you'll understand textbook emotional leverage. Even I knew it. He exhales long, slow. Sigh, then says, okay. If it matters that much to you, okay. I book a lawyer the next morning, drop a $6,000 retainer, like I'm buying peace of mind. Tell the attorney, I want this thing airtight. No loopholes, no future sob story exceptions. He starts drafting clause 1, full separation of assets acquired during the marriage clause. 2, mutual waiver of spousal support. No alimony. Either direction, clause 3. Each person keeps sole ownership of any business, interest, intellectual property, and career-related appreciation or growth. The lawyer pauses on that when says usually there's some carve-out. If one spouse is supporting the household while the other builds something, I cut him off immediately. No, if I build a consulting practice someday, I don't want anyone claiming they earned part of it because they washed towels and ran the dishwasher. It's mine, and if he somehow sells his little coding thing, that's his fare. Is fair. Lawyer gives me a look, then shrugs, says okay. But it's very strict, asks if I'm sure my fiancé will sign it. I tell him, yes, he'll sign. Ethan gets the draft. A few days later, sits at the kitchen table and reads the whole thing, actually reads it. Line by line, he stops at the IP section, looks up at me. So if I ever sell anything, I build software, code, whatever, it's fully mine. You wouldn't want any of it? I almost laugh because in my head I'm thinking, buddy, your app is worth exactly $0 and a migraine out loud. I keep it clean. Yes, Ethan, your projects are yours, my career is mine. That's what fairness looks like. He stares at me for a second, weird expression, not angry, not even sad exactly. Almost relieved or maybe just done arguing. Then he says, okay, signs it. I sign it and I feel unstoppable, like I just outsmarted the universe. Tell Katie and Monica at work. They react like I won a championship ring. Queen behavior, protect the bag. Wedding happens. I pay for most of it because I wanted the floral installations and a live jazz band. He covers the alcohol bill, honestly, great party, good photos. People danced, nobody cried too much. Year 1 of marriage. I get promoted to director salary, jumps to like $148,000 plus bonus. I'm on a high for months. Lease a brand new MWX. 3 in my name, only obviously drive it home. Feeling like I finally look like my title pull into the driveway. Ethan's outside washing his old Civic Same dented little thing, soap bucket, hose, dad. Energy. I park next to him. The side-by-side is brutal. Looks like a LinkedIn ad next to a community college flyer. I tell him he needs a new car. It looks bad. When we go to my work events, he says it runs fine, says he doesn't want a monthly payment. I call him cheap. He corrects me, says he's frugal, says every extra dollar is going into server costs. The servers again. I ask how much he's burning on that. Now he says around $900 a month. I just stare at him. That's basically a car payment. You're spending that on a hobby? He says it's R&D. I storm inside, pour a giant glass of wine. Text, Katie immediately he's dumping money into servers, again completely useless. Katie texts back, at least it's not OnlyFans girls. But yeah, major man-child vibes, year 2 of marriage. I'm stressed constantly. Director life is mostly meetings, compliance headaches, and firing people while pretending it's strategic diversity. Metrics, employee complaints, leadership syncs that should have been emails. I come home mad almost every day. Ethan becomes my emotional drywall, not physical, just verbal constant nitpicking. Why is the trash overflowing? Why are your shoes in the hall again? Did you really wear that shirt to the grocery store? He just takes it, stays calm. Always. Some version of, sorry, says he lost track of time. Coding. You are always coding. Maybe try getting in the zone of being a husband for once around. Then I start flirting with Brent VP of sales early. 40s, divorced, drives a Porsche, perfect teeth, expensive watch. We start doing networking drinks after work, which is corporate for emotional cheating with appetizers. He talks to me like an equal, not fragile, not passive. We vent about our deadweight partners, and it feels electric. I don't sleep with him, but I absolutely think about it a lot. Then I come home, see Ethan hunched over his keyboard, in sweatpants, headphones, on monitor glow, on his face at midnight. And I feel this wave of disgust, pure, mean, undiluted, year 3 of marriage. I'm 34. Random Tuesday night, he asks if we can talk. We sit down at the table. He looks weirdly calm, too calm. Then he says, I quit today. I literally drop my fork. You what? I quit the help desk. I'm going full-time on the project. Beta launch is close, I just explode. Are you out of your mind? We have bills who exactly is paying your share of the rent now. He just looks at me, totally calm, Says he has savings. Says he can cover his share for 6 months after that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You made this decision without even talking to me. He doesn't even flinch. Says he didn't need to separate finances, remember? As long as he pays his portion, it's his choice. He used my own rules on me, my own exact language. I am furious, like seeing my reflection talk back. Fine, don't ask me for a cent. If you miss rent, you're on the sidewalk. He nods. Understood. The next 6 months are miserable. He's home all day every day. Apartment sounds like a server room, fans humming, keyboards clicking, some machine always running. He stops shaving on schedule, starts looking feral, patchy beard, hoodies dark circles, full cave programmer mode. I'm embarrassed to have people over if coworkers ask. I say he's consulting sounds better than, my husband quit his job to build internet Legos. I stay later at the office, find reasons to be there, more strategy drinks with Brent. More time sitting in my car, scrolling listings, start checking one-bedroom apartments online, quietly planning my exit. I tell Katie I'm giving him until the lease ends, then I'm leveling up one random Wednesday in late October. I come home late and pissed off, terrible day. Had to terminate a pregnant employee, compliance, nightmare, legal review, manager panic, everyone acting like HR is the villain and the savior. At the same time, I walk in, expecting to see Ethan in his little command center corner. He's not there. He's on the couch wearing an actual suit. Nice suit too, tailored, and there's a bottle of Cristal on the coffee table. I stop in the doorway. Brain short circuits, ask if someone died or if he has a job interview. He stands up and it hits me immediately. He looks different, standing straighter, shoulders back. Real confidence, not fake, not nervous. Just there. He smiles, says no. Interview, he had a meeting. Okay with who? Axel. I freeze for half a second. I know that name. Even in HR, everybody knows Big V. C names, he says they've been watching. The beta says they think his protocol could become core infrastructure for freight verification. I'm still trying to catch up. So, okay, they invested? He nods, says they led the Series A. I ask how much. He says they closed $20 million at an $80 million valuation. I can literally feel the blood leave my face. 80 million? He nods again, says he still owns 60% after the round. I do the math in my head. My husband is worth $48 million on paper, or not. Same result in my brain, everything changes instantly. The sweatpants history disappears, the messy hair becomes founder intensity. The late night coding becomes vision, the fans, the cables, the servers. Suddenly all of it is genius aesthetic. I drop my bag on the floor, go straight to him. Oh my God, Ethan, I knew it. I knew this was big, total lie, did not know anything. I throw my arms around him and start crying, real tears, part relief, part greed, mostly greed. If I'm being honest, we're rich, we're finally rich. He hugs me back, but it's weird. His arms are stiff. He pats my back like I'm a distant relative at a funeral. Says ideally, yes, but it's equity right now. Not cash, I don't care. My brain is already in billionaire wife mode. Say we can borrow against it. We can buy a house, we can travel. We can do Paris Lake, Como, whatever rich people do when they discover linen. He gently steps back, says he has to go to the Bay Area. The team is building there. He needs to be on site. I switch into solution mode. Immediately say, I'll pack, say I can request a transfer. Our company has a San Jose office. He says no. Tells me to stay here, says I have my career. Says I love my job, I say I want to be with him. He says we'll talk later, then tells me his flight leaves in 3 hours. He leaves just like that. I sit on the couch alone, drink the champagne by myself, straight from a flute. I found in the cabinet, completely euphoric, already browsing houses in Hillsborough and Pacific Heights. Like a lunatic text, Katie and Monica Ethan just raised VC money, major round power, couple era. Next year goes by in a blur. Ethan is almost never home. He rents a penthouse in San Francisco. I'm still in our apartment with the divider screen and the resentments. He gets featured in VentureBeat, then another founder, profile, somewhere professional, photos, clean jawline, good haircut. He got a stylist. He got LASIK, started lifting. Actually looks incredible. Comes back maybe one weekend, a month, pulls up in a Lucid Air, wearing a Rolex Submariner like he was born with it. I try so hard to become the supportive founder-wife offer to help with hiring. Tell him I can handle HR systems for his team. He shuts it down, says they already retained a recruiting firm. I suggest we start a house shopping. He says, not yet. Market's unstable. He buys me expensive gifts, though. Chanel bag, diamond studs, designer, stuff that photographs. Well, but emotionally he feels far away, like he's being polite to a neighbor, like he's tolerating me out of habit. I start spiraling, get insecure, turn the wife performance up to max, cooking, by ordering from expensive restaurants and plating it on our dishes, wearing nicer clothes at home. Makeup on a Thursday night, for no reason trying to look effortless while putting in maximum effort. He barely reacts. Then the buyout rumors start. I see it on a tech blog. During lunch, headline says, Cargo Trace is in talks with Oracle for a possible acquisition. My hands start shaking. I call him, immediately ask. If it's true, he says he can't discuss it. NDA. I tell him I'm his wife. He repeats it. NDA, Amanda says. This is serious legal territory. I wait absolute torture, checking news, checking his socials, checking his flight activity in my head like a psycho. 3 weeks later, he comes home, Tuesday night, walks in carrying a folder. No champagne this time, no smile either. Just the folder tells me to sit down. I sit, heart pounding so hard I can hear it. I ask if he sold. He says yes. Deal closed that morning. Wires already hit. I ask how much. He says all cash, $140 million. I stop breathing for a second. $140 million. My brain goes white. I am married to a 9-figure founder. Instantly seeing private jets, villa rentals, quitting my job, deleting Outlook forever. I scream, like actually scream. Yes, we did it. Oh my God, Ethan. I jump up to kiss him. He steps back cold. Not angry, worse controlled. I ask, what's wrong? Tell him this is the best day of our lives. He looks at me and says, it's the best day of my life. Just mine. We sit there in this awful silence. Then he says, we need to discuss the future. My mind goes straight to houses and travel. Say yes, the house, the trips, everything he says. No. The divorce, it lands like getting slapped. Divorce? I actually laugh because it sounds impossible. Ask if he's joking now that we finally made it. He says he's been waiting for this day for 2 years. I just stare at him, waiting for what he says. He wanted enough resources to leave me properly, and he wanted to see if I'd change. Says I didn't. I start talking over him, saying I supported him, I was there, I believed in him. He cuts through all of it. Says no, you tolerated me, you mocked me, you talked down to me, you treated me like some broken appliance you kept around, because replacing it was inconvenient. Then he says Brent's name says, I flirted with Brent. I immediately go defensive, say that was work. We were just friends networking normal corporate stuff. He shakes his head, reaches into his pocket, pulls out his phone, asks if I remember when he fixed my MacBook after I spilled Pinot on it. I say yes. He says I never logged out of messages and I'd turned on text forwarding to the kitchen iPad, the one he used for recipes while I was working late. Then he says the line that makes my stomach drop through the floor. He watched my whole thing with Brent happen in real time on the kitchen counter while he was cooking me dinner. I read the texts, the ones where you called me a placeholder, the ones where you told Brent you'd leave after the lease ended. I read all of it. I didn't say anything because I wanted to see what you'd do, whether you'd actually leave or whether you'd wake up. You never woke up. I go completely still, full body freeze, caught in 4. K no, spin, no, excuse ready, just caught. Then I start crying, actual crying this time, not performance, tears, panic, tears, survival tears. I tell him I love him, I tell him we're partners. He looks at me like I just said something insane. We are not partners, we are roommates with paperwork. Then he opens the folder, says he talked to his attorneys, says they reviewed the prenup. I push so hard for my stomach drops so hard, I feel sick. The prenup? He says yes and starts reading it back to me like a receipt clause. 3, each party retains sole ownership of business ventures, intellectual property, and career appreciation. He reminds me I was very specific about that. Wording, I try to pivot immediately. Say that was for normal stuff, small stuff. Not this? He shuts it down, says this is an asset. The company is an asset, the sale proceeds are an asset. The future income tied to it is an asset. And under the agreement, it's all his 100% mine. He says, no claim, no share, nothing. I tell him he can't do this. I'm his wife, a judge won't sign off on something. This unfair, he says it's enforceable, airtight, and reminds me. I paid to make it airtight, literally paid for the bullets. He even brings up, the car says I was terrified he'd ever touch my BMW. Then he laughs, not loud, not angry, just this dry, empty laugh like he's already gone. You wanted independence, congrats, you got it. You've got your director salary, your retirement account. You're completely protected from me, leeching off you, I lose it. Start yelling that I'll sue him, tell him I'll take half. Anyway, he says, I can try, but I'll lose and burn my savings, paying lawyers to explain my own signature to me. Then he stands up, says he bought a house in Malibu, says he's moving out today. Movers are downstairs. I break instantly, all pride gone. I'm on my knees in my own living room, begging, literally begging, saying I'm sorry, saying I was stressed, saying I love him. He looks down at me with actual pity, worse than anger, says I don't love him, says I love what he can buy, says I loved him most when I thought he was controllable, a safe little beta. I could manage, and now that he isn't, I'm terrified. Then he walks outdoor, closes just a soft click, and somehow that sound is louder than any screaming. I'm alone in the apartment. The silence is insane, like the walls are listening. Legal war starts. I hire the meanest divorce attorney I can find, absolute shark, $700 an hour. Worth it? I tell myself she reads the prenup. In silence, keeps flipping pages, frowns harder. Every minute asks who drafted it. I say my old lawyer. She says it's extremely thorough, too. Thorough says, I waived basically everything. Spousal support, community property claims, business interests, any upside from his company. I ask if we can argue coercion duress, anything. She just looks at me, says I requested it, says I paid for it, says I was the higher earner at signing, says I have a graduate degree and worked in HR leadership. No judge is going to believe I was bullied into this by an IT support guy. I ask again because I need there to be some secret move. She says we can try change circumstances, unconscionability, after the fact, but tells me not to expect miracles. We go to court. Ethan's attorneys are elite, perfect suits, perfect hair billing, rates that probably have billing rates. They submit emails, my emails, email from me to my lawyer from 2023. Make sure he can't touch my future consulting income or inheritance, complete separation, exact words. The judge is a woman, stern, smart, absolutely unimpressed. She reads the email, reads the prenup, then looks straight at me, says I'm a sophisticated professional, says I knowingly negotiated terms to protect my own assets, says I cannot ask the court to undo that contract, just because the other spouse later became wildly successful, says that's the risk and reward structure of business rules. For respondent prenup, enforced no alimony, no division of sale, proceeds, no claim on company money. Nothing. I keep my BMW, which is now worth maybe $28,000. If someone is feeling generous, I keep my 401k around $120,000, and that's it. That's the empire. Ethan walks out of the courthouse, doesn't look at me once, gets into a black SUV with tinted windows. I get into my BMW dashboard, throws a service light. I grip the steering wheel and cry into it in the parking garage. Aftermath is ugly. I have to leave. The apartment can't cover the rent by myself anymore. Move into a tiny studio in a rougher. Neighborhood window faces a brick wall, sirens every night. Friends try to comfort me. Katie says he's a narcissist, says he used me. Monica says money changed him, says I'm better off. But I can feel the shift. They know. Everyone knows I fumbled the bag. Not just a bag, the bag, historical level bag. They look at me with sympathy and judgment. At the same time, like I'm a cautionary tale. They plan to reference later over wine. I'm not the queen anymore. I'm the warning, work gets worse. One morning, I see Ethan on Forbes' headline about the founder reshaping logistics infrastructure. He looks incredible, sharp, calm. Expensive article says he's single, says he's focusing on philanthropy and new investments. I sit there drinking wine alone, cheap wine. Now the kind with screw caps and no adjectives. I stalk his Instagram from a burner. He's in Mykonos, then Tokyo, then somewhere in the Alps, and then I see her. She's 24, influencer type, perfect face, perfect body, zero career. Visible, doesn't need one. Posts a video of him buying her a Birkin caption, says he treats me like a princess. I throw my phone across the room, screen cracks, can't afford to fix it until payday. I look at myself in the mirror, 35, single, living in a shoebox, driving a leased car, working a job. I wanted to break ceilings instead. I poured concrete over my own life and handed the one person who actually loved me the tool to bury me with. Then I check email, LinkedIn notification. Ethan viewed your profile. My heart jumps immediately. Stupid hope hits fast. Maybe he misses me. Maybe he wants to talk. Maybe the influencer thing is empty, and he wants an intellectual equal. Again, I click so fast, I almost drop the phone. Page loads. This profile is not available. I refresh member, not found. I just stare at the screen. He didn't look me up to reconnect. He looked me up to block me. He wanted to make sure I couldn't even watch his career from a distance, needed me erased from every professional pixel of his life. Final digital door slammed right in my face. 5 minutes later, I get another notification. Landlord rent increase notice up 15%. I start laughing, can't stop laugh until I cough. Strong, independent woman, mission accomplished. I won the contract negotiation and lost the entire war.